What is cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, how excited are we after this match that we just saw today against Juventus and Hellas Verona? And what an absolute I don't know what to call it. I'm just excited. Monster deal, monster. I guess whatever it was. I don't know what exactly to say. I'm just so excited about the purchases that were made by Juventus and what they really did to bolster the squad and what a debut by Dusan Vlahovic and of course Zakaria or is it Zakaria? With me as always is my guy Alejandro Fancello. You tell me, how do you say it? Because I heard the announcer saying Zakaria,
Yeah,
and
it's
then I've been saying Zakaria. It's that okay. I'll keep trying to say. Hopefully, I no promises because we know I have issues when it comes to pronunciation and all that. But I'll say Zakaria from now on. Um, that's where we had to start it. It was just a fantastic performance by both of those players, but also the biggest thing to me going to this, and this was really a we said it the other day during the live, the one that you and I did together, where I basically broke down or we went into giving our predictions for what we expected to see from Juventus as the season resumed.
yeah,
And I was a bit pessimistic. I was expecting a draw just because if you look at the history there, Juventus have not beaten Hellas Verona. You know,
yeah,
it's Hellas Verona, but at the same time, haven't beaten them since September of 2019. And this is also the very first game where you're having Zakaria and Vlahovic come in and try to, you know, feel their way in with the club, get used to the scheme or whatever they have going on here at the same time. Um, to me, at least in the well, actually, I'll give Zakaria the whole time. Vlahovic for a good portion of the time. You definitely used a lot of that energy, but for the most part, I'd say almost flawlessly. They looked fantastic.
yeah. Like, I think, Zakari in the first 10 minutes he struggled a bit. Like it was all new to him. You saw it. Like he gave the ball away a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But Vlahovic in that first half, he showed, first of all, why we spent that money. So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
But he also showed that he's just not I don't want to say it, like he's not just gonna stand there as a striker and wait for the ball to come for him. He's not that type of
Mm-hmm.
player, and that's why Allegri's gonna love him because he does everything. He can do everything. Like he loves to drop back, pick up the ball, set up the goal. Like he loves to do all those things. He's hungry. Like he runs towards everything, and I think I get that. It was the first game, adrenaline. I think the first half
Mm-hmm.
took something away from him for the second half because he was running at everything the first half, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like it's the first game, probably very, I don't know, hyped, excited. He's just scored, like he
Yeah.
went for it. I think he should have scored a second one shortly after. Should have won a pen. Still can't believe
Yeah.
that was not a penalty. So um,
If we're looking at this, and I'm trying not even to be biased when I say this, but like you could make an argument that Vlahovic could have had a hat trick today. Like he really could have. If you look at the opportunities, if one at least one of those potential would look like penalties to me, you know, the ref and VAR said no. If they did even check VAR at the same time, they said no. But then that one, obviously, there are at least two actually on the field opportunities that he should have scored for Juve.
yeah,
But again, I want to just dive into what you're saying right there about the beginning, and that's exactly what I love about watching Dusan Vlahovic play and his it's the energy level he brings, and obviously you brought up a good point that today it was his debut, so he was running on lot of adrenaline,
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
adrenaline, just coming in straight into this match like it's your first time wearing the Juventus shirt, playing Allianz Stadium. A more full Allianz Stadium than it has been in a while. It's not
Yeah,
still looking like what I want it to look like, but still a pretty good showing, at least from the fans coming out there to see him and Dennis Zakaria play for the first time. But and then the one thing before I'll let you talk some more, and I apologize, I don't want to commandeer this thing, but at the same time, what I was going to say is what I saw from him was everything that I demanded and everything that I yelled and ran and screamed on here for while Ronaldo was here playing for Juventus. This is the kind of play that I expected from somebody who I think is one of the top strikers of the world. It's like when I understand it was 30 minutes. It was about 30 minutes or so, and by then maybe you get a little bit tired. You're using all that energy up, but he was doing everything. Like you said, he was creating for himself, and that's what I expect somebody, you know, And I'm not trying to say he's Ronaldo, but at the same time, that's what I'm saying. Somebody who's playing that role, making the kind of money he's making, that's what I expect from them.
Yeah. Um, me or I said yesterday, or and even the days
Hmm.
before, I said like I hope the positive feeling just keeps. How do you want to say it? Gets dragged onto the field within the group of the players, and I think players we looked at maybe the last few weeks like you need to do much
Hmm.
more. They did much more. Like Rabio, I think he played a good game. De Chilio, he was good. Um,
Hmm.
Morata, I think for me he was my man of the match. Like he was
Hmm.
consistent, good for I would say 90 minutes, but until he got up for the entirety of the game, like he was consistent, great. Like everything he did was quality. So
Hmm.
I think it didn't just like the signings they gave us a boost because well we needed it, but I think it gave the older players or the players who are already at the club and who are struggling
Hmm.
this season, it gave them a boost. Like you could feel it, you could feel it. And just from the first minute, like again, I expected Verona to press the what out of us, and we will struggle. Not struggle in terms of not oh my god, how are we keeping 0-0 over here? Like I wasn't scared about that, but building
Yeah.
up from the back, that what was a bit um, not existent in the first 15 minutes, I would say. Then we picked it up, and the first 15 minutes in the second half was also weird. But other than that,
Yeah.
it was good. Like it was positive. It wasn't perfect. That's fine. We know that. I don't think it's gonna be perfect from now until the end of the season, but it was better.
Yeah.
It was much, much, much better. And I don't want to say it's because of two players, but it's just the energy those brought. Like it was positive. Everything felt positive. Like and not everything they both did was great or fantastic or spot on,
Right.
but it was just a feeling. Like it was infectious for the players around him. Like Arthur was winning balls back.
Mm.
Winning how do you want to call it? Contrast. Like usually that's not
Yeah.
really Arthur. Again, I'm not completely impressed by his play today, but he did things I
Hmm.
was like, okay, you never did that before. You did that today.
Yeah.
Great. Like McKennie came on. He was unlucky. Like
Hmm.
he should have an assist or a goal at least. He was unlucky. Dybala looked
Yeah.
lively, looked happy until he needed to come off. But he needs to understand that he is, how do you want to say, key to the season. So
Yeah.
Allegri was just
Hmm.
protecting him a lot of games, and you cannot
Yeah.
risk him out there.
I, yeah, I think there was a part of him that was a little bit disappointed, obviously, in not scoring a
Yeah,
goal
he should have
himself.
scored.
Yeah. Back onto what you that one of the big points. That's exactly something that I felt, and I didn't want to be Homer guy. Like I said, I talk all the time. I don't like that. Not, but it's true. As we're fans, so we're gonna be a little Homerish no matter what. But there was a feeling that I got. Well, first off, I'll say this. So you talked about Manata, who played pretty dang well. Like he was
Yeah, yeah,
fantastic today.
he was good.
Um, that's what bringing in a guy like Vlahovic does, though. There's so much more space for Dybala and Morata to work because they weren't the focus.
Yeah, yeah,
Vlahovic was the focus. That's the guy that they were worried about. They were still worried about Morata, and they're still worried about Dybala. I mean, who wouldn't be when it comes to Dybala? But at the same time, they had so much more space to try to create with, to do something with, and that's what we needed throughout the whole season. I'm looking at this. I remember sitting back and being like, "Wow." Obviously Zakaria and Vlahovic scored, but at the
yeah,
same time, if you don't have those two guys in there in the midfield or in Vlahovic there in the attack, maybe Morata, or I'd say 100% Morata and Dybala are struggling a lot more to try to create something against this pressure that Hellas Verona came with. Um, what's it called? One of the things that really also stuck out to me that I just wanted to talk about. I think you were saying that's what it was when I was saying about the Homer stuff. Sorry, I want to get back sidetracked over here. But there was a part of me when I'm watching this game, and I felt re-energized. Like I
yeah, yeah,
felt different
yeah,
watching this game. Every other like going into this game, obviously I felt differently because there was the aura of expectation, the excitement of these two new toys that are coming into Juventus to watch, see how they're going to turn out. Um, But, like, I think what this really does is, like, because one, I'm not coming in here just talking about the same old, and there was a bit of the same old that popped up in the middle of the game. We can talk about that. But at the same time,
I
it just I don't know. I feel like the pieces, especially, and again, I'm not gonna try to overshoot my excitement for this season, but if you look into the future and next season, like, there's some pieces to be dangerous for this team.
yeah, for sure. And I think the 50 minutes in the second half, we allowed Verona to have the ball, which is okay. But I think we did that to an extent where I think even Allegri was like, "Oh, this is not what we wanted." Like they weren't dangerous, but we were giving the ball away easily, like just kicking it away instead of keeping it into the squad because we had the players to keep it in the squad. So that was a weird one, but it's fine. Like it wasn't dangerous. It wasn't like Verona were putting Chesney under real any pressure or danger. It was just one of those moments we need to we need to get out of our game. We should, but
Yeah.
overall, like you said, like I just said, like the feeling is different. Like and not just for us. Like for us, okay, we
Mhm.
are fans. Like okay, we signed a player, we were hyped, but for the other players to basically, how do you want to say it, be
Yeah.
affected by it, like and really be
Mhm.
re-energized because and I keep saying Rabiot. If I look at Rabiot, I'm like, especially the second half, I was like, where the hell have you been all season? Like, come on.
Mhm.
Like, this is the again, I'm not gonna hype it up because we've seen it from Rabiot, but like he
Yeah.
needs to put these that kind of performances in every week, like at least every
Okay.
week. But that should be the minimum for him because if he does
Well,
that well,
yeah.
we have an extra
Yeah.
player who's actually going to be
Let's go.
useful.
Let's do this because I'm disagreeing with you here right now, and I don't disagree too much. But and there's maybe it's something about my eye that I'm not seeing some of the things he was doing defensively. He did well. He did do well defensively. But there were times my biggest problem with Rabio, and this is where I disagree with you, is I thought his performance wasn't that great today, mainly because every single time I saw him, he was stymieing the attack or the momentum. Every single time Juventus was trying to move it downfield, to me, I feel like it went to Rabio, he'd stand around with the ball, and this is where my frustration comes in. Is he slowed a lot of the momentum. Does that make sense at all? Like there's so many opportunities. Even the shot that he took,
That
which
was a good
maybe it
one.
wasn't a terrible. It was a good shot, but I feel like Vlahovic was over here to the right. He probably
Ah,
could have
nah.
caught up by then to try to
I
set him
would
up
have
for
shot.
something.
I would have shot also on that position. Like I had enough this season. Just shoot. Like just shoot.
Yeah,
He needed to take that shot because he created everything. I thought it was. I thought it was. I don't say amazing. I thought it was good today.
yeah.
Like he won possession at
Hmm.
least 11, 12 times at least. And for Rabio,
True.
it's like three
Yeah,
weeks of football, and he did that in one half
yeah.
almost. So again, if Locatelli is back and McKennie is now
Hmm.
he's back, but he was just land. He just landed.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna
So,
start unless he's gonna bench Arthur. Then he has more chances. But
hmm.
this is just I don't want to say it. This should be the standard for him, like and
Yeah,
better. If this is the
yeah,
standard until the end of the season, it's gonna help us because we need everyone. I thought he played well, especially in the second
yeah.
half.
I mean,
I actually thought he was. I was like, okay, maybe it was Betancourt. I don't know.
no. Yeah. No, at this point, I was maybe it was. At this point, I'm more nitpicking because I think what happened was, and I think we can both acknowledge this, that we got to that middle portion of the game before, like I said, before the Zakaria goal came, where I just kind of like it just kind of a lot of things stymied out, a lot of things slowed. It kind of told me it didn't regress all the way there, but there were moments of the game where it regressed into that
Yeah,
Allegri ball that I've been watching that I was just like it just became so blah. Just like I'm like somebody do something, somebody create something, somebody, there's all these opportunities that are just being missed. And
yeah,
it's all these missed opportunities that we've grown accustomed to. And I think that's why I became a bit more pessimistic. And I know I was, we talked a little bit about looking at the ratings that are coming out later. Make sure you guys check those out. But when I was doing those, I'm looking at him and I'm being like, yeah, he was great. He was a 7 or not Rabio. But certain players were this at this time, but then how do I even out when it comes to this whole time where it's just, missed opportunity after missed opportunity. Um, Chiellini's going on an adventure. Chiellini was trying to be a striker, so I don't know what he was doing. That moment, if he would have scored though, I would have been as happy as anybody though.
It was good that he was on the field again.
Yeah.
We needed that. We're gonna need him until the end of the season, so it was good that he had almost 90 minutes, basically.
Yeah.
So that's also positive. Because I think we play on Thursday against Sassuolo. Yeah, Coppa Italia.
Yeah.
It's on Thursday, so I expect some changes. We should, because on Sunday, away to Atalanta, well, more than ever, it's must win. Like, you're in the top 4 now, but they have a game in hand. You have that basically in your own hands now on Sunday, next Sunday. It's not going to be easy, but you shouldn't be scared to go away to Atalanta. Like, these are the games you should win as a club, as us, like our club. You should go there, win, and put them out of the top 4 for now, and just keep pushing, keep putting the pressure on, because this is great. We needed this, especially like Cagliari won Atalanta. We needed this. Atalanta scoring, Vlahovic scoring, Zakaria scoring is, I don't want to say it. I would say it's a bonus. Like, it's like, okay, you sign these players, they come in, it feels, how do you want to say, it feels positive, everything feels positive, and they both score. It's like, okay, you can write that. You can write that, but it looks cringe. Like, it looks, it's scripted. But it happened.
It's too good to be true. It felt too good to be true. Like, because it was like we were so excited after the Vlahovic news dropped, and shortly after we have the Zakaria, which was, let's get into Zakaria. That's something I wanted to talk about as well. Obviously we need to actually talk about him and his play. One of the things that stuck out to me was just his size.
Yeah,
like I feel big. Like he's so big, and he's so like he's difficult to manage for a lot of other players on the field, which is fantastic. Also, he points out to me, obviously, we've talked about this. This is what we talked about nonstop on the channel, is how bad our midfield has been in recent years. But he throws Zakaria out there, and what a steal. Like, what a steal in the Mercado to be able to get him, especially before, who knows if you waited until the summer, you could have still maybe got him. I know obviously he talks about his dad was a Juventus fan, but if some of the bigger Premier League clubs come in and try to snag him, Juventus got very, very lucky, and or maybe not lucky, but are just very fortunate to get this deal done here and now.
Yeah, and also, I think if Locatelli is back, you will be back. I think Zakaria is going to play in Arthur's position. I think he's gonna do that much better. Like, he can play this position. Don't get me wrong, but I think Allegri's gonna replace Arthur with him, and I think that will suit him much better. Because like he did well. Like, besides the first 5 minutes where he was like, "What the hell is happening here? Like, who are you guys?" He was giving the ball away a bit too cheaply. He picked it up. That run was great. Okay, Morata made that goal out of nowhere. Like, he actually made that happen out of nowhere. But the run was great. Yeah. The finish was spot on, because he just waited until the goalkeeper started to lay down, and just kind of chipped him over with his inside of the foot. Clean finish. But I was not surprised about Zakaria. I said that yesterday. I think he's gonna have a good game. I think he's gonna love it with Allegri, because he's like, it's just like Allegri had a son. That's him. And Allegri would have built him. That's him. Like, that's actually him. Yeah. So, I don't think he's going to struggle, because he's a player Allegri just loves.
Yeah, I expected him to be good. I just didn't expect him to be, I don't know why I expected him to maybe struggle a little bit more than Vlahovic did coming into here. I don't know why. I just thought maybe it would take a little bit, maybe just a little bit longer. But we're looking at these, not only are we looking at two high-profile players come in, or high-profile as in big-time gets for Juventus to come in here and be successful in their first outing as Juventus players, but also guys that haven't had a lot of time working into the system, working into Allegri, like training. Like, to me, that only spells good things throughout the rest of the season. And like you said, And I know a lot of people, and I was one of them crapping on, saying we don't know, no chance of certain things happening the rest of the season. All I'm gonna say, obviously fine alla fine, right? But at the same time, like pieces can fall, and if Juventus can play, to me, this was a measuring stick. This was a big time measuring stick for Juventus to develop and to prove themselves, like I said, against a tough opponent. It's not, obviously it's not top of the table, but I do think
No, but
Hellas
we
Verona
struggle
is a
against
tough
them.
opponent for.
It's
Yep, every time.
we shouldn't be struggling, but it is what it is. We struggle against them, and we did well
Mhm.
today. Again, it's Verona. I know that's Verona, but
Yeah.
with the season we are having, we should not be disrespectful to anyone. Again, last 10 games,
No.
7 wins, 3 draws. That
Mhm.
sounds great. I'm still pissed about the way we played against Milan. Like I will never forget about that this season. So, but
Yeah.
just in general, it's Verona. I get that, but we struggle against that team, so you need to respect that.
Mhm.
And we did pretty well today, which
I mean,
which is important. Like Danilo's back. I like Danilo. I know people don't really.
mhm.
How do you want to
He
say
was.
it?
I thought he was fantastic
I
today.
know people are like, oh, he's not Cancelo. I get that he's not Cancelo, but we need to let it go. He's here, and I like Danilo. Like he always gives you 6, 7 week in, week out. Like you know what you're gonna get with him. It's steady. It's just
Yep.
steady. It's how do you want to call it? It's familiar. It's calm. Like everybody around him.
He's reliable.
Yeah,
He's
he's
absolutely
reliable.
reliable.
I like
He's
him.
he's one of those guys when you have him, Delict, and then either Chiellini or Bonucci, I usually feel good. It's just that fourth piece of that defense that I never
Yeah,
know. If you have those three guys, or if you have some amalgamation of those three guys, I'm
yeah.
comfortable.
I like
You know?
him being back is so important for us. Like it actually is.
Mm.
Because he's calm. Like it's how do you want to say? Even in the ball on the ball, he's it's like okay, we're chill now. Like, but when Sandro's on the
Yep.
ball, I'm like my heart is pounding. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna mess up now. Like he's going to do something. You know that Simpson meme where they're
Yep.
peeking and it's like he's
The-
going to do something stupid. Like that's Alexandro when I see him on the ball. I'm like, oh, he's gonna mess up. But with Danilo, it's like, okay, we're safe. It's calm. So good
Yep.
that he's back. Like very important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree with that. I'm trying to think. There are actually two other parts I wanted. Well, two parts. One of them is just a normal thing we talk about, but there's one thing I want to ask your opinion on. I know we're probably going a little bit long already. I have no idea of how much time's we're doing, but at the same time, what I would say, my question to you is: one, did you expect a 4-3-3 coming today? I thought it was gonna be a 4-4-2, but I also don't know midfield
Yeah.
pieces what they could really work with. Did that force him into using it? I love the trident. I love the trident of Vlahovic. Wait,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah.
Was it a 4-3-3 the whole time? You have a better eye for this than
Yeah,
me.
not
Or
completely, but most of the time, like going forward, yeah, it was. Dybala dropped, was the one who dropped back most of the time, or just out of it.
yeah,
So it was a 4-3-1-2. But
yeah.
I think like going off that presser and the fact that Locatelli was suspended, McKennie wasn't
Mhm.
really ready. Like he had little choice. Like yeah, you can do that,
Yeah.
but like you cannot turn out to the stadium when signing
Mhm.
Vlahovic and Zakaria and say to the fans, "Tada, 4-4-2, Rabiot on the left." Like no fan is gonna take that. Like
Yeah.
we have seen what happened with Rabiot on the left. Like it looks awful. It is what it is. So I don't think he had a choice. Now moving forward, we will see. I think he's gonna stick with it. Like if Locatelli comes back, I think he's
Mhm.
just coming back. Zakaria will pick up Arthur's position, and McKennie will get into that team. I think that.
Yep. I think so
But
too. I
let's see,
like what I see
because
from
he has
McKinney.
options now. Like he can also play Rabiot. He can play McKennie. He can drop Morata. I don't really. I'm a fan of that. If he puts McKennie more, how do you want to say it,
Mhm.
closer to Vlahovic and Dybala, because I'm still doubtful on McKennie's on the ball abilities.
Mhm. Yeah.
But let's see. He has options now. Now it's up to him because I said it to Julian yesterday. He needs to pick a formation and a team
Mhm.
and needs to go with it now. Like you cannot keep changing things around now in the last 14 games. Like that's not okay. You need to stick with one thing now.
And that's why I'm kind of hopeful that maybe will be a 4-3-3 like this. I really liked what I saw from it, and the way that it set up and the way that it worked and how it opened up lanes for different guys, especially Vlahovic, Morata, and Dybala together. And then also that's what I think too. And I like how you said about McKennie as well. I'd rather utilize him more, not as forward as with Vlahovic, but use him as like a spark. And that's the
Yeah,
best way he works as an
yeah,
attacker, as a spark. You get there in the box, and he's that guy to come headed in, while everybody else is, getting attention from other areas. But not as a, I don't want McKennie, trying to do a lot of run outs or anything like that on his own. I don't think that's not what he excels at
no,
least
no,
whenever I watch him. So yeah, hopefully we'll see that. Hopefully I won't have to see too much more for 4-4-2. And I just think, yeah, definitely while you have, honestly, we talked about this a little bit. You talked about Morata being good today. One thing we talked about this before plenty of times, but to me, if some deal can be done, I look at it now, and I would be pretty high on if Atletico Madrid would come down on that price, and you could still somehow buy him as like a backup.
yeah, yeah.
That you're looking very, very competitive if you want to be competitive as soon as possible for, like, even
I agree.
Champions League.
I agree. I agree.
So
But I don't think he's gonna stay.
no.
But he will suit that role. You need to also think Chiesa's coming back. You need
Yeah,
to think about paying Dybala. So I think it's gonna be very difficult.
true.
But I'm not surprised that Morata did well at all. I said that yesterday during the live. I said to Julian, he's gonna play fantastically. He's gonna play. He's gonna just, I don't say play out of his skin, but he's just gonna suit that role perfectly.
Mhm.
People say, "Oh, Mandzukic is not the same." Like Mandzukic was more tracking back, but all the
Yeah.
rest, yeah, no problem. You can do that. Like pressure's off. People are looking at Vlahovic, Dybala. You can get some free,
Mhm.
I don't want to say free space, and you can see what he can do when he gets a little bit of space. Like he's dangerous in the build up.
It,
So he's gonna be key moving forward. Because Julian asked me, "Oh, do you really believe they're gonna play all three of them?" He's gonna play all
yeah.
three of them. I think he said that on Wednesday before any news of this broke, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna try that out for sure once. I did not expect that now, but I'm like,
Mhm.
it just screams Allegri. So yeah,
Right. No, I was very, very pleasantly surprised to see him do it here now. And, like, absolutely, that's the one thing that definitely stuck out. You have the Vlahovic, the guy who literally from the beginning, very first, stepping foot on the field for Juventus, and he looked like that guy who was ready
yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah,
spotlight.
yeah.
He was ready. I mean, I don't want to build him up. I don't want to be like, you're going to be Ronaldo kind of guy, but like that's what I expected. That's what I want from my star. And that's what he is. To me, he is he has the potential to do great things at Juventus, and I
Yeah.
hope it's season of good vibes right now for Juventus. From think about from August to now, how differently we feel. It's fantastic. All right, let's wrap this up. I'll just give you the floor here. Man of the match and least valuable player today.
I
And
would
you don't have to go too
say
harsh.
for me, my man of the match is Morata. Like I know people will kill me in the video. We want to go for the fancy new toy, but I think Morata was consistently good quality, like consistently.
Yeah.
Also sacrificing for a team.
Hmm.
I love what I saw what I saw from Morata, and the worst player, like it wasn't bad, it wasn't awful, but I would say Arthur
Yeah.
because I'm a bit confused. Like when I see him play, like I don't know,
Hmm.
like he does good things and then he does things like I'm like no, but it wasn't
Yeah.
bad. Like it wasn't a 5, it was at least a 6. So that's still decent. That's good. A 6. But I
Yeah.
would say for me it was, yeah, I will go Arthur because I expect a bit more from him, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah. Arthur it's just to me it's the same stuff every time. Arthur is just sometimes a step slower than the other guy, and that's really where he struggles a little bit
Yeah,
sometimes. And then there's some things he does as well. But no, I can't disagree with you fully. I liked Morata. Morata came out of nowhere to create that for Zakaria, and that was like to me that was the big moment.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was a beautiful way to do it. If I'm gonna go for me, obviously, guys, make sure you tune in later. Check out the ratings that I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna run down my ratings for all the players. You guys can get on there and bitch and yell and moan about how I'm wrong. But at the same time, mine I'm gonna go with man of the match for me. And the reason I'm gonna go this one, and I'm not trying to be, the overly optimistic, but I think I'm gonna go with Zakaria just
Okay.
because, wait, Zakaria.
Yeah.
Zakaria. There we go. There we go. Zakaria. I gave him a pretty high rating. I really liked what he saw. He looked comfortable, and he looked at like, oh hey. I give him credit because like Locatelli came in and it took him a little bit to come on. I feel
Yeah.
like a little bit where I really saw him become the exciting piece that I wanted. But Zakaria came in there and he looked head and shoulders better than the midfield we've been seeing for so long. He looks like a different level. So I'm excited to see that. I think it was a massive steal that Juventus ended up getting there in the final days of the Mercado. And then my least valuable player, again, just like we talked about earlier, to me, I think it was Rabiot. I understand there's other things he does. I'm gonna go look at those stats and really see. Maybe I missed out. Maybe I wasn't paying attention fully. Any other final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, just positive vibes for once.
Exactly. You see a smiling Alejandro, and how often does that happen anyway on here? Anyway, guys, we appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Like I said, if you liked the video, like what you saw, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. And while we're celebrating and while we're excited about the new additions of Zakaria and Vlahovic and Zakaria, here I go again, and Vlahovic, make sure you've checked out our the Twitter account for Bianconeri Zone. Make sure you're liking, retweeting the tweet that goes out about the giveaway that we're doing. You have your chance to win on February 24th during a live giveaway. You can enter for your chance to win a official, I guess of course it's official Juventus home shirt for Vlahovic number 7. So make sure you do that as well. Make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next time. Hopefully Juve continues to win. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.